While talking about holy places related to his own life, Lord Buddha has named Bodh Gaya, Sarnath and Kushinagar apart from Lumbini. Sarnath, where Buddha gave his first preaching, and Kushinagar, where he achieved Mahaparinirvana or ultimate salvation, is considered as holy as Lumbini, the land where he took his first step. Although Buddha's birthplace lies in Nepal, the other three places related to his life lie in India. As he himself has mentioned Lumbini before other places, it is appropriate if we visit other three places only after Lumbini. Bodh Gaya. Prince Siddhartha took off towards south after leaving his palace in Kapilvastu at midnight. Searching for knowledge, Siddhartha tonsured and walked as a monk carrying a pot to receive charity. He first went to Yogi Bhargava, watching yogic exercises. After that, he went to Alar Kalam and Udrak Ramputra to achieve nirvana through meditation. He was not satisfied with the process after experimenting with it for some time. Finally, he went to then Magad nation. Siddhartha began deep meditation in the forests of Uruvilva, on the banks of Nairanjana river, which flows by near Gaya's Durg. He stopped that after doing it for 6 years. He bathed in the Nairanjana river and consumed the besieged milk of a woman named Sujata. The other sages left him alone, saying he had lost his morality by accepting milk from a woman. Prince Siddhartha was left alone. However, he committed himself to achieve his objective and told himself, even if he lost his entire blood, the flesh or the skeleton, he would not leave the place without achieving knowledge. Following that, Siddhartha sat below this peepal tree and continued meditation facing eastward for 7 continuous days. After meditating, despite intense struggle, he achieved a path to knowledge on the day he turned 35. Siddhartha achieved enlightenment here right on the day of Baishak Purnima, or the full moon, the day he was born. After achieving enlightenment, Siddhartha was called by names like Gautam Buddha and Shakyamuni Buddha. When he achieved enlightenment, he emitted red, white, blue, yellow, and orange lights. The Buddhists, considering these 5 colors as Buddha's light, began making flags and wearing clothes of these colors. The place became famous as Bodh Gaya after Siddhartha Gautam got enlightened here. The tree where he received enlightenment began to be known as Bodhi Briksha, or Tree of Enlightenment. The tree here is not of Buddha's times, but its successor. In fact, the present Bodhi Briksha is 4th generation of the tree from Buddha's times. Gautam Buddha's follower, Emperor Ashoka, took the branches of Bodhi Briksha throughout the globe to increase the number of its successors. In this course, Bodhi Briksha was also felled. But as Emperor Ashoka had reached its branches everywhere, its descendants remained. Ashoka had taken one of the branches of Bodhi Briksha to Anuradhapur in Sri Lanka through his daughter. Later, a branch from the tree in Anuradhapur was brought here and planted. Siddhartha spent 7 more weeks around the Bodhi Briksha, where he achieved enlightenment. Here, he reflected on the knowledge he had just achieved. Since the knowledge was complicated, he also planned to spread it among the people by simplifying it. The place where he achieved enlightenment and spent 7 weeks has now been preserved. Now, various statues of Buddha have been erected. Various biharas or holy buildings were made in the region where Buddha got enlightenment. From here, Gautam Buddha's preachings were spread around the world. That is how this state of India was named Bihar. Bodh Gaya, which is in Bihar state, is a holy religious site as well as beautiful. There are historical biharas, rivers, and other places. 200 meters from Bodh Gaya Mahavihara, the river Nairanjana, where Buddha took bath, flows by. Mahabodhi Temple, which has archaeological significance, is also here. This vihara, made in Panchashikhar or 5-peak style, was made by Emperor Ashoka. The temple, made up to 30 feet high by Ashoka, was extended by Samudragupta in the 4th century. In course of time, the temple was buried under the earth. The temple was excavated and renovated during the English rule in India. The priceless archaeological findings from the excavation have been kept in various museums across India. Various statues of Buddha in different postures have been kept around Mahabodhi Vihara. Of these attractive figures, this particular one with Buddha touching the earth depicts Buddha achieving enlightenment. Emperor Ashoka, who made pillars on the sites related to Buddha, also made attractive pillars in Bodh Gaya as well. During excavation, 4 such pillars were found. The pillars in the premises of Mahabodhi Vihara was made by Ashoka as a proof of Buddha achieving enlightenment and spending 7 weeks in this space. Since Bodh Gaya is a religious site for Buddhists across the globe, various countries have made viharas and chaityas here. Various viharas made in different styles by China, Thailand, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Taiwan, Korea, Japan, Vietnam, Burma and Sri Lanka are there in this monastic zone here. A visit to these viharas, monasteries and chaityas give us a sense of peace and happiness. Sarnath. Lord Buddha thought of spreading the knowledge that he had acquired to all the people in the world. Buddha gave his preaching to 5 people the first time. The place where he gave his religious teachings was Sarnath. That is why Sarnath is a source of knowledge for Buddhists. The knowledge that started from 5 followers in Sarnath then has reached people across the globe. Buddha gave the teachings of Panchashil to these 5 followers. His teachings are: do not commit violence, do not steal, do not involve in physical wrongdoings, do not lie, and do not consume intoxicating materials. When Buddha traveled to Sarnath from Bodh Gaya, these monks welcomed him. Emperor Ashoka built a huge stupa at the place where monks welcomed the Buddha. This stupa is known as Chokkhandi Stupa. Buddha gave his sermon on Dharma Chakra Pravartan. At this place, Ashoka built a Dhammarajik Stupa and kept a pillar here. This also has writing of King Ashoka. He made another stupa too, in Sarnath, which is still known as Dhammik Stupa. Another important vihara in Sarnath is Mulgandakuti Vihar. Gautam Buddha spent around 6 years meditating in this vihar. There are remains of various ancient viharas and stupas in Sarnath. The Panchayatan temple that is in ruins now was a place to settle disputes. It is also known as Panchayat Temple. Sri Lankan national Dhammapal has made a huge contribution in reconstruction of the Sarnath area, bringing it to what it is today. He had rebuilt the viharas and kept Buddha's temple there. Historically and archaeologically important Sarnath has been decked up beautifully now. Vaishali and Shravasti. Despite Buddha talking of Lumbini, Bodh Gaya, Sarnath and Kushinagar as 4 important places, Vaishali and Shravasti were among his favorite places during his lifetime. Vaishali also has a stupa which contains Buddha's bones. Buddha's bones were distributed in 8 places after his great salvation. King Vishal from here received a part. He kept the bone piece to make the stupa, and it is known as Dhatu Stupa. Initially, it was made of mud, but in Maurya Shangul era, it was made of bricks. This inscription in the southern eastern part of the stupa is considered as the most ancient one. Then Emperor of Gandhar state, Kanishka, took out some pieces of bone from here and made similar stupas elsewhere too. Vaishali also has a stupa made in the memory of Lord Buddha's favorite disciple Anand, and it is known as Anand Stupa. At this place, Buddha had announced his great salvation and made a move to Kushinagar. At this place itself, the biggest torchbearer of Buddhism, Emperor Ashoka, built a pillar. At the north of the Ashoka pillar, there is an attractive stupa Big Pond, Chaitya, and another building in the south and remains of an ancient vihara is visible in the west. This pond is known as Banar Talao or Monkey Pond. Legend says when Gautam Buddha was thirsty, the monkeys dug a pond for him to drink water. This pond was later extended by Ashoka. There is a peace stupa built by Japan in Vaishali. Vaishali is not only a holy site for the Buddhists, but also Jainism followers. This is the place where the founder of Jainism, Mahavira, was born. Another important place near Vaishali is Shravasti. Lord Buddha had spent 24 years of his life in the Jet forest here. This forest was dedicated to Buddha by King Jetkumar. The Bodhi Briksha here is a descendant of Bodhi Briksha from Bodh Gaya. This well here is from Buddha's times. He used to drink water from this very well when he lived in Shravasti. The well has now been covered to keep it secured. The Mulgandakuti and Anath Pindak Vihars are among Buddha's favorites. Kushinagar. Lord Buddha achieved great salvation at the age of 80. He left this world on the day of his birth according to lunar calendar on the day of Baishak Purnima or full moon. He chose his favorite place, Kushinagar, for his great salvation. Kushinara of those times is now known as Kushinagar. After announcing his great salvation in Vaishali, Buddha straightaway came here. This is where he gave his final sermon. Then, lying between two trees here, Buddha told his disciples, "My children, my last moment has come, but you should not forget that death is only the destruction of the body. Like it is born from parents, grown by food, disease and death are also but inevitable." Further, he said, "But true Buddha is not a human body, but the knowledge. The human body has to destroy, but in the truth of the religion and following of religion, knowledge always flows. Those who only see my body actually don't see me. Only those who accept my teachings actually see me. He told his disciples about his lifestyle after his enlightenment. In past 45 years, I have not hidden anything from my teachings about my life. There's no secret teaching, no hidden meaning. Everything has been given clearly and openly. My children, I will achieve nirvana in a just while. Saying this, Lord Buddha took his great salvation. Just moments before his salvation, he gave the teaching to Subhadra as his last disciple. At the time of his great salvation, kings of many countries and his disciples had congregated. His body was kept for viewing for 7 days. But his favorite disciple, Mahakashyap, could not come at the time of final ritual. As he was not there, the body of Lord Buddha did not catch fire. It is only after Mahakashyap came there, prayed to Buddha, and then only the last rites of Buddha's body could be performed. The then king of Kushinagar had made a stupa for Buddha. It was renovated in the 4th century. This stupa, to this date, remains as the center of people's faith. Here, there's great Salvation Vihara as well. It has 1,600-year-old Buddha's statue. This 21-foot high statue is gold-plated. 400 yards away from that place, there is a well where Buddha drank water for the last time. There's a temple near this well made by Malla kings. Lumbini, Bodh Gaya, Sarnath and Kushinagar are 4 of Buddha's dear places. That is why he said these places are the ones where people should go for pilgrimage. Those who want to follow the steps of Buddha, who consider Buddha's life as ideal and accept his teachings, those find these places as dear as it was for the light of Asia. In these places, we can find things related to Buddha's birth, his childhood, his family life, search for knowledge, enlightenment, sermons, and the great salvation. It also gives you a feeling of actually meeting Lord Buddha. Only a visit to these places give you a feeling of happiness and peace. Actually, coming to these places for real is making your life worthwhile. So let's take our steps towards Lumbini, Bodh Gaya, Sarnath and Kushinagar. And let's say from today, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami.